This is the last video I'm going to do for this week. And I want to tell you guys something that grinds the Aquarius's gears, okay? This is something that pisses off me and a lot of other Aquarius. So I'm going to do the introduction and then I'm just going to go right into it because y'all probably already know this. I don't know if I've talked about it before, probably so, but I'm going to go in, okay? I'm Queen. I'm Queen Alset Haru, and thank you for joining me for the wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you have not already, please hit the red subscribe button. I want you to subscribe. I want you to come back. I want you to get my notifications when I put up a new video. Next to the subscribe button, there is a bell. If you hit that bell, you will get notified every time I upload. And I want you to be here. I want to hang out with you. I'm hoping to do some live streams soon. I want us to be good buddies, okay? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who might like it as well. And please leave us a positive comment in the comment section. Underneath this video is all my information. If you want to get a reading done, email me or hit me up on social media. Now, without further ado, let's talk about what grinds my gears. So this is what grinds my gears and a lot of Aquarius, okay? People, I'm sweating, I'm getting so irritated with this. People will complain about Aquarius or about me in my situations. They will complain that we don't express our feelings. The Aquarius won't talk to me, Queen. The Aquarius won't tell me how he feels. The Aquarius won't tell me how she feels. The Aquarius won't talk about her feelings. I don't understand. Why won't they talk about their feelings? And I get it. I get it because I've had an Aquarius in my life and we were platonic friends, but I stopped being his friend because he wouldn't explain what the fuck was wrong with him. He was acting weird and I was just like, yo, I don't know what's wrong with you. And when you figure it out, you let me know. And I discontinued the relationship. I discontinued the friendship because I was just like, I don't know what's wrong with you and you're not telling me. And that's creepy, okay? And I'm not a mind reader. Well, I am. But I wanted him to tell me exactly what the problem was. And he would not tell me. So I was just like, well, obviously you don't want to be friends. Deuces. So I understand this. A lot of Aquarius do this for a lot of unhealthy reasons. Sometimes it's self-care. It depends on the situation. But it grinds my gears because when people do this to me, and they'll be like, well, you won't tell me how you feel. And then, okay, I say, fuck it. I'm going to tell them how I feel. And maybe I didn't say it the right way. Maybe I should have been kinder in my approach. I don't know. But I would say it. You asking me to express it? Here it's expressed, okay? And then they get mad at me for my feelings. Aquarius, in this comment section, or if you've been with an Aquarius and heard this story before, or if your Aquarius said you did this to them, please tell us in the comment section how many Aquarius have been bothered about expressing their feelings, and then when you expressed your feelings, got it again for how you feel. People will get pissed at me. And this doesn't happen much now, but this is when I was younger and I was in relationships. It happens mostly in relationships. But they would get pissed at me after bugging the fuck out of me about my feelings about something. And then I tell them my feelings about it, and now they're mad at me about how I feel about it. Please don't do that to your Aquarius. Please don't. Because as an Aquarius, if you do that to me, I shut off. I stopped discussing feelings with you, period. If you complain to me about my feelings, I stop talking to you. Because I need to have my feelings. The same way I'm going to let you have yours, I'm going to hold space for yours, even if I don't agree with yours. And you've got to allow me the same, or I'm not fucking with you, period. So a lot of times this happens and I'm just like, please don't do this to me and please don't do this to your Aquarius because this is awful. You bother the person. We have a hard time admitting, expressing our feelings sometimes. Some of us are better than others. I'm pretty good at it now, but I wasn't always. I worked on it. It was important to me to get better at it. So here I am, you're asking me to express myself. I'm struggling, I'm stumbling over my emotions. My tongue is tied. I can't even get it to freak out. And then when I say it, you mad. You mad. How can you say that? How can you feel that way? How dare you? And they got an attitude. This happened to me a lot with water signs, especially Cancer and Scorpio. Now, my Scorpios, not as much, but a few times, you know. But Cancers, a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. They would sit there, because Cancers and me, platonically or not, we're always talking. That's one thing I like about Cancers. We have great conversations, deep conversations. But then, some of the times, especially when it was a romantic relationship, they would ask me how I felt about something they did, something they said, something they wanted, some shit like that. And I would be like, and give my opinion. And now I'm being crucified. I'm being emotionally beat up with all their reasons why my expression of my feelings is upsetting to them, or is wrong, or whatever the case is. And it just like really irritates the heck out of me. I was on Instagram and I saw this particular meme for Aquarius. It says, Aquarius, I'm either too direct, definitely, or don't express my emotions at all. There's no in between. And this is where the problem would come in. I would be too direct, is what I'm assuming, too blunt. You know, that's why I started saying things in a kinder way as I got older. So I'm assuming I'm too direct, too blunt, maybe hurt the other person's feelings. But you bugged me for my fucking opinion. You bugged me to tell you how I felt about it. And for a person who's not good at it, for a person who doesn't want to do it anyway, all that does was encourage me not to do it again. If every time I express my feelings to you, you are upset about what I expressed, or don't like how I expressed it, or it's too blunt, or it's too this, or it's too that, I get to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm not expressing shit to you no more. So if your Aquarius is expressing themselves to you and you don't like how they're expressing themselves, just roll with it, dog. Let them just have their feelings. Let them say what they gotta say. And if you don't like that, you can't handle it, then that's a person you shouldn't be with then. But don't try to, pry their emotions out of them and then get mad at them about how they expressed it. 9 times out of 10, it was probably hard for them even to get that expression out. And then we get it out, and now you're going to bitch at us about how we got it out? You lucky we got it out. Now, I personally did learn, I said this earlier, I personally did learn not to say things harshly. Sometimes better than others. Sometimes I do better. Sometimes I mess it up. But when I'm talking to a lover or a person that's important to me, I try to say things kindly. I try to be honest, tell the truth, but be kind. And it's quite a balance, because sometimes what you have to say isn't kind. So sometimes it's like, well, how do I say something that's hurtful kindly? So I do struggle with it, but I do my best with it. But at the same time, for those Aquarius who haven't gotten that far or who are still working on it, I just beg you, I beg you to please remember how difficult it is for your Aquarius to express themselves. Your Aquarius, if they tried, they probably did their best. They probably didn't say anything to you because they didn't want to be harmful, and you bugged them to say something, which is rightfully so, but now you're going to bug them about how they expressed it. So now they're further discouraged from expressing things with you because you're going to trip. And like I said, I had this problem a lot with water signs, and they would get so angry with me. And even to this day, sometimes water signs get mad at me in the comment section. Some of them do, and they're pissed at me. And I'm like, look, I'm doing my best to tell you my truth. I'm not getting up here lying to you. I'm not making shit up for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up here and doing my best to give you my truth. I can't sugarcoat that or explain that to you. I do my best at being as kind as I can, but that's the best I can do. Some of these topics, some of the things you talk to another person about, especially a significant other, it's going to be uncomfortable conversations. And you can't get mad or shy away from an uncomfortable conversation. Now, in Aquarius, yeah, we could try to be kinder. That's my biggest thing. Just try, okay? Try to be kinder. Try not to say it so bluntly. Try to sit and think about it. Some things are going to be easier to do that with than others. Sometimes there's no way. There's absolutely no way. I remember talking to this woman once, and oh my God, she was asking me why I didn't like having intercourse with her. And the reason why was that I found her to be gross. I didn't like having intercourse with her. When I was with her one time, I did not like it, you know? And it really had a lot to do with the fact that she wasn't tight. I'm just gonna have to say it. There we go. When it's one of them times when I'm trying to say it kindly and I don't know what to say. She wasn't tight. Her her downstairs parts was like she was into something that we call fisting in the community. And for those of you who don't know what that is, that's basically exactly what it sounds like. And you fist a person. And for a woman, in some cases, it can destroy your elasticity down there with your girl parts. So it wasn't like it just, I didn't like it. It wasn't my thing, when I was with her. How the fuck do you say that to somebody? And she was so angry with me. She was cussing me out. She was calling me names. She was talking shit. like she was going in at me. And she was like, I don't understand what the problem is. Why won't you tell me what the problem is? And she was just going off on me. And I didn't want to say that. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, what can I say? Like, can I say, and I kept trying to say, well, I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't my thing. I kept saying things like that. And she's like, well, if you're a lesbian, how is, sex not your thing? And she was going on and on and on. And I finally hung up on her and blocked her because I didn't know how to say that in a kind way. I don't think there is a kind way to say that, other than I'm not feeling you, or I'm good, or I didn't like it. I mean, all those vague things, but I said all those vague things and she kept pressing me for a direct answer. So that's what I'm saying. It's hard to express certain things. For anybody would have had a hard time expressing that. But I, to this day, still don't really want to express it. I really don't want to say that, It's the truth, but I don't want to say that because I think it can be kind of hurtful or ignorant, or mean. Some people might say that's malicious. It's just my preference. I didn't like it. So I didn't want to do it anymore, and I didn't want to say that to her, and she crucified me for not wanting to say that to her. And she was a Scorpio. And she crucified me, called me all kind of names because I didn't enjoy being with her and wouldn't tell her why. I just couldn't. How do you say that, So, yeah. So when it comes to your Aquarius, if you get them to express themselves, even if you don't like how they expressed it, don't bitch at them about how they expressed it. It's cool to have a conversation about how they expressed it or how you would like to express bad news in the future, maybe. But don't get in your panties in a bunch about the blunt way, especially if there's no other way to say it. Some things, there's just no other way to say. All right, let's take a look at some positive comments. All right, Nicole H. Hey, Nicole. Nicole said, these are absolutely beautiful, Queen. Oh, she's talking about my crystals. I had unboxed some crystals last week, I think it was. But that was a cool video. I feel so calm and relaxed after watching you show and talk about the meaning of each crystal. I love crystals. I really do. They're always all around me. I just love them. I just love the prettiness of them and the vibration. If you don't have any crystals of your own, I highly recommend them. They are beautiful. They're great for just decorating, and they really give a better energy to the atmosphere. So right by me right now, I got 3. This is one of my favorites. You guys have seen this. Anybody who's been around has seen that one. But I got 3 sitting right there. I love them. Now let me see how I can say this name. It looks like Ben Isia Asante. I'm not sure if I said that right. Asadi? Benasia Asadi. That's what it looks like. Benasia said, I love music. Definitely love the energy of music. I love it. Oh my God. A lot of Aquarius really love music. But the funny thing about Aquarius is we have a tendency to like music that is unusual, eccentric, old music. I love stuff from the 70s. The 80s is my favorite musical era. Some 90s stuff, couple things from the 60s, but you'll rarely hear me listening to contemporary music. Like very rarely. If you hear me listening to something that was made within the last few years, that's an anomaly. Most things I listen to were about 80 to 89. That's my jam right there, because there's so many beautiful love ballads, you know. Peter Cetera, all those groups that were around back then, you know, Tina Turner, you know, the R&B, I love R&B, Luther Vandross, Whitney Houston. It was so much during that time. Michael Jackson had a bunch of good songs back then. Prince was lighting up the airwaves. There was just so much good music back then, and it had soul to it, you know. And the music from my mother's era, the Temptations and stuff from Motown, Diana Ross and the Supremes, that kind of stuff. I don't listen to a lot of that, but the stuff that I do listen to from those eras has a lot of soul to it, a lot of feeling, you know. And when I listen to contemporary music, I don't always get that at all. I don't get feeling. Sometimes I do. I was listening to this song by Estelle. It's called Conqueror. And that has a lot of feeling to it. Adele, some of her older songs that I've heard had a lot of feeling to them. But you don't always get that. All right, guys. It's time for us to get going, because my phone has just told me it's on 5%. So you come back soon, because I got a lot more to say. See you later.